Hi, I'm Nicole Donnelly with Astro Talks on AstroJoy.co. And today we've got Andrea Rickett joining in, also with AstroJoy. And we have our astrologer, Lucia Robelo. And today we're talking all about the moon. And I wanted to start this right away because we were in this side conversation about hair and booking your hair appointment with the moon. So, Lucia, do you want to get everybody caught up real quick on the app that you use and how you use it?
Yeah, so I use this app called Deluxe Moon because it helps with scheduling of the right appointment, the right date with your hairdresser. So let's say, like your hairdresser says, I have this available date, let me know what works for you. So I go into my app, I check out, like, okay, with the phases of the moon, what is going to be more convenient for a haircut, what is going to be more convenient for a, hair treatment, and so it can grow healthy, so it can have, a life. So I check it out, and then I tell her, you know what? Okay, this day works for me because the app lets you go, in the future, so you select, future dates. Some apps they don't let you. Has a cost to the app, but it's not that expensive. I think it's between $2 or $6, something like that.
Yeah, it was like $2.99 when we just looked. But
Yeah.
so what makes it a good day to do your hair? Where does the moon need to be?
Yeah. What do you look for?
Well, it depends on what you're looking for, like if you want which is why, refer to the app, because if you want if you want your hair to grow longer, then, you select one day. And then if you want your hair to go like, okay, I just want to cut it, but I don't want it to be nice and pretty, but I don't want to do, like, for instance, don't do full moons, right? Full moons is just not a good one for it. Like the best ones are when it's either, like first quarter, third quarter moons. Those are really good. So like I had selected, I had, without even checking the calendar, like I said, oh yeah, well, let's do it on Monday. That works for me. Like, and then I realized, oh my God, this is like the full moon right now in, in a week. No, sorry, I can't. It's a full moon. It's a bad day for a haircut, so. And then I'm like, okay, I can do it in the first quarter moon, right? But it depends. Like sometimes I just wanted to be like nice and pretty but not to grow way too much. And but if you're looking lengthy, yes, like you play with the dates. Some days are better for haircuts. Some days are better for treatments. And so yeah, it's a lot to play with there, and it's fun because we are 70% water, and the moon rules the ocean, so of course it's going to have an impact on us. The moon is the natural ruler of Cancer, that is a water sign, and the moon in us represents, besides, doing the oceans, the tides, and for, like farmers use it, fishermen use it, so it's, if you want to garden with the moon, check out the farmers almanacs. They tell you everything about, like, with harvest and when to plant, check. I'm not a gardener, so I don't have those days, from the top of my head. But hey, but yeah, it's like if you want to plant, best time to plant, tomatoes, zucchinis, or any kind of, like stuff like, yeah, the Farmer's Almanac tells you everything about planting with the moon. So it's a great insight. And with the, with the effect that the moon has on us, it's our emotional body, it's our feelings, our emotions. It's one of the top 3 important ones, such as the sun, moon, and rising, because the moon is so personal. It's how we react, how we respond, how we, if we are under attack, if we're under stress, what's our first reaction? Is it going to be to freeze or to fight, or what it is? It's, are we just, getting into work? So the moon, it's something that, needs to be taken into consideration as part of your personality as a whole, and what makes you you. So, for instance, someone with a moon in Aries, fire sign, they're quick, they're reactive, but they are also are good at starting things. They get mad. They start things, they do it, they get mad at you, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, I get over it, and I'm like, really? We just went through this, like, woof, fire, and now you're like, oh yeah, I'm over it, and just like that, you want me to be over it? Like,
Yeah.
you're doing what you just like that, you want me to be skipping, with you, like, come on, but that's how they are,
Wait,
they forget.
so they forget. So it sounds like you don't. So what's your moon in?
Yeah.
Taurus.
Oh yeah, mine too. That's right. Mine is in Taurus too.
Yes, yes, mine is in Taurus. So what is a Taurus moon? Taurus moon is earth sign. Right off the bat, it's grounded, practical, solid, stable. Your feelings are fixed because it's a fixed sign. So that's where the grudges come into place, and that's where the not being able to move forward as fast as a Aries moon is, because we're like, these are my feelings, and I am allowed to feel this way, and you're not gonna change my mind, or you're not gonna change the way I feel. But at the same time, like, we're dependable, we people rely on us, Taurus moon, it's that the moon is exalted in the Taurus sign. The moon rules Cancer, but it's exalted in Taurus. So the second best place to have the moon in your natal chart is Taurus, and the moon also represents, the mother, either how your mother, your relationship with your mother, and also how you are as a mother. So Taurus moon moms, they make a really good moms because they're nurturing. They Taurus moons like comfort and cozy, so they're paying attention to their house, paying attention to their kids, their family. So it's good. It's that strong placement. And at the same time, though, because of the stubbornness of the Taurus moon, it creates some, it can create that friction, right? But the best thing for in a conflict or in an argument is to, like, take a time out. Taurus moon needs time to process their feelings and emotions, because it's just a little bit slower, like other signs will tell you how they feel right away, but a Taurus moon will not. And that's okay. That's the beauty of knowing and learning about astrology. We're all different, and just say, hey, I need a timeout, give me 5 minutes. I'll be right back. Okay. How am I feeling? Like, connect with yourself to say, oh, yeah, that bothered me. And then you're like, okay, like, starting to talk about it, because it doesn't process the emotions fast enough. And it's just what it is. And then, once you learn to connect with yourself and learn to know how you process your feelings, then it helps you to accept yourself and love yourself, because that's the beauty of astrology, is that it's not about judging yourself or others. It's about learning how to communicate, how to feel. It's about learning interpersonal relationships, so we can all be connected and accept our uniqueness and individuality.
Yeah, getting more understanding of yourself too. And I can totally relate to what you were saying about the Taurus and taking more time, because my sun sign is Capricorn, but my rising is Taurus. So I get that sort of slowness there, but my moon is in Pisces, which is like, I feel like totally opposite of those things. My emotions are really quick, even though, like, I feel like it's like the outer stoicness of the earth sign, right? But on the inside, it's like going really crazy. So it's an interesting combination for me. But yeah, I think that's why all three signs, understanding each one, makes such a difference too. And the moon, I feel more connected to my moon, and maybe that's because of the whole, both of the other ones are earth and that one is not. So I don't know what that is, but yeah.
But the earth and water get along just fine. You know, they're a nice, solid, practical, good at manifesting. You know, you're double earth and water, so they create a nice mud. You know, it's good. You know, like whereas in your case, Nicole, with double fire and earth, it's like, oh my God, what is this, guys? So you have like earth is the odd man out, you know, because why is that? Because fire and air get along and earth and water get along, but then you mix earth and fire. Is like, you know, earth is slow, practical grounding. Fire wants to go quick, you know. Then if you mix fire and water, you know, fire, you know, water gets, you know, steam, you know, with fire and water you create steam, or with fire and water you put out the fire.
Yeah.
But if you, because that's the, you know, the other one now, like how you have them, like in the three, right? If someone were to be double fire and you know, one earth and air, I'm sorry, water. And but the point here is to learn, like, for instance, you can take a nice, you know, warm bath, and that will make you feel so good, you know. But it's just learning how to contain the water with fire. So you heat the water to just a nice temperature, you make it warm, it's nice and cozy, you know, relaxing. And you make a cup of tea, you know, you just warm up the water, right? It's just enough. But if you make it too hot, then it's going to be boiling, you know. So that's the beauty of learning this that way. It's like, okay, doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. It's just having to like regulate it, you know. So, and for you, like, you know, with double fire earth, you know, yes, it can be uncomfortable, but it's just learning how to you know, how to like make it harmonious. So, you know, like you can count on, you know, you can lean on your earth and fire when it comes to like, you know, being, you know, grounded and stable. Okay, no, in this situation, I have to really, you know, like be solid. Or in other situations, just like, okay, it's time to go. In other situations, you know, we're going, we're moving, you know, you're there to like, okay, everyone, let's go, right? So it's about, you know, knowing when and how. And for you, Andrea, because you have, you know, earth and water is just a nice mix. So it works beautifully. That's me too, like Scorpio Sun, Taurus Moon, and then my Capricorn rising, you know, I'm double earth, water. So it's a nice combo.
Both of you friends. Yeah. So
yeah,
my husband's all water. He's sun and moon in Cancer, and my daughter is sun and moon in Gemini.
Wow. Yes, that's that. So Gemini, you know, with her moon in Gemini, you know, she's quick, you know, but very changeable. Like could be a little bit like indecisive in her feelings, like, oh, I don't know, how about my feelings can, you know, one day they tell you one thing, or in the same day tell you different things, right, about how they feel. So it's like, okay, how do you really feel, right? It can be a little bit harder to like get like the real opinion. And they're not being mean. They're really just like, well, I don't know, you know, they're not messing with you. You know, they're not doing it on purpose. It's just how, you know, how they process that. But for them, it's, you know, wanting to learn that that's why journaling is really good for them, because it puts into perspective how they're feeling, because they can be cut off from their feelings at times, because that is just the nature of earth sign moon. So anyone with a moon in Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, that are the three earth signs, they tend to disconnect and just process from the neck, from the head up. And it's like they forget that they have a body, and then they forget that it's like, oh, what's this? What am I feeling? Ooh, I don't, like, so they forget that they have, the emotional body, because they're all mind. So it's just something to keep in mind, that they have to come to their body, and that's where journaling comes into place, because it's a quiet moment for them that it can just like, okay, look inward, so that helps them. So is your daughter like that, or?
Yeah, and it's funny, we were driving, so she rides horses, and we were driving to the barn the other day, and I was like, which houses appeal to you today? They were driving through the neighborhoods. It's like, which ones do you like right now? Because I know she changes her mind on things. And like we were talking about cars, and at the moment she likes BMWs. And in her life before, she's never liked BMWs, and it was Mini Coopers for a while, and it was V-Dubs for a while. And, so we have these conversations about, what do you like right now?
Love it.
Yeah. So it makes sense. It does make sense.
I love it. Yes, or sometimes they will change their outfits like 3 times, like before leaving the house, because they just feel like, oh no, I feel like this one's better, and then, oh, let me change my shirt. Oh, let me do this, and like, okay, so last one, we have to go.
Yeah, I have to give her a lot of time to get out the door. Like, ever since she was little, she's 16 now, but when she was little, even, it would take so long to get out the door. And that's like, it's just always been that way. And I'm like very quick, and just even getting ready in the morning and that sort of thing. Like, she just needs more time. And we joke about it, because since, the Gemini is the twin, and she has her sun in Gemini and her moon in Gemini and her Mercury, it's like she has so many little personalities, and she talks about her little characters in her head. Like, she has her inner Gordon Ramsay, her inner mom, she's got her Jewish grandma. Like, there's all these little, characters playing out in her head. And so sometimes I'll ask her what the character is dealing with, and that, I think how you said that, having everything in your head, that helps her connect with like the feelings of it. Is like, is it Gordon Ramsay right now, or is it like the mean mom? Because her inner mom, she said, is like more critical than I am. Like, I'm nice, and her inner mom is like really not as nice.
It's her inner Karen.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that Pixar movie,
Inside Out.
Yeah, with all the different characters as emotions. I really liked that visually, like you're talking about Sarah talking about her inner characters. Yeah, that made a lot of sense to me. So
yeah. And they have accents too, and she speaks like she has these characters that come out.
That is hilarious. Does she want to be a comedian?
I would love it. She does improv at school and drama, and she's so funny. She is hilarious. She's gone on the stage and done improv with adults when she was like 14 or 15. And she has stage presence, and she can hold that same presence as equal as adults who've been doing it for years.
That's beautiful. Yes, because that's the beauty of Geminis. They're quick and they're fast, so they gotta be, with an audience. Entertaining an audience is not that easy, because you gotta be ready for what the audience throws at you, and you gotta be quick, and that is she will definitely do great. And since she already has a knack for it.
She's so funny. She's so funny. She cracks me up all the time, which it's a pleasure.
Yes.
Well, I think that's one other thing that I just wanted to put out there is, especially with your kids and sort of understanding where they're coming from. Like, Nicole, you're talking about your daughter, and these things about her because you've been looking at her chart, and you've been looking at your own, and things that she might be good at and things that she might be not, or ways that you can parent her that she's going to hear rather than what someone who is different. So I think that's, one of the things I know Lucia offers is the readings for parents. So if anybody's listening to this also and is interested in finding out more about their child and how they can approach them in a better way, that would be a really great thing, Lucia, for you to tell them about.
Yes, thank you, Andrea. So, I offer this readings for parents, and where they provide the date of birth, time of birth, the date of the information for their kids, where, I pull the chart and I do the reading for them to understand how they think, to understand how they behave, how they feel, what they are attracted to. Some kids, are just more attracted to be building. Some others are full of energy. And as a parent, it's good to understand that, because your elemental distribution as fire, earth, air, water could be much different than your kids. So what that means is that if you're a person, it's mostly air, and you love to read books, but your child has so much energy, could have a lot of fire in their chart. You need to attend to the needs of the kid, in the sense that, okay, what is going to be good? Sports, like anything athletic, whereas maybe you're like, athletic, I never kicked a ball in my life, like, but, that's why it's not about what the parent wants to do, it's about what it's good and what suits the kid, because we're so different, so the parent, never build a thing, and then the kid has a lot of earth, blocks, Legos are amazing for them. So it's just or waters, they have a lot of water in their chart. They're very artistic, so you just kind of nurture that artistic nature in them, anything musical or arts and crafts, so instead of like, let's say maybe you were super athletic and you want your kid to also be sports, but if he has a lot of water, you're not going to make that kid run. Or if you do, he's going to resent, or he or she's going to resent it. So it's looking about what it's needed, for them. So so instead of putting them in soccer practice, put them in like piano lessons or guitar lessons or singing lessons or dancing, and see where it's going to flourish.
Yeah, my husband, with all his cancer, he played music growing up his whole life and did jazz and stuff. And then he also liked to dance. Like, he does Lindy Hop is the one that is his favorite. And so he's a boy, he needed that physical outlet, and he did play some, I think, rugby at school, but he really likes dance.
Yeah, nice. Yes, with triple water, he needs to, like, it's going to be even stronger in him with the triple water. So yes, that energy is going to be, anything sun, moon, and rising is going to be so strong. And when you have the same element as it, like, yes, you really need that outlet and need to like nurture it. Otherwise, it's just because that's where that's where a lot of like depression and anxiety and and health, and don't want to get into like saying like that all depression is like that. Is not generalizing at all. It's just that some of it, because we're not living our true nature, we're not living what we're designed, like we want to be, like if you want to be like super athletic and your chart like, or you just don't have it, like that's where that discomfort comes, because we're trying to fit in a mold that is not for us. So that's why
and I got
important.
I got that advice kind of earlier on with my daughter when she's about 10-ish, 9, 10. I went to an astrologer and she's like, okay, for the next, 7, 8 years, you need to make sure your daughter is physically active, or she will have the energy to rebel. And she's got a lot of energy and it needs to go somewhere. And so make sure she's in sports, because she's got to get that out. And, drama and horse riding are like the things that she really got into, because she's got all the creative too. But that was some of the advice that I got. And it's like, because she's going to have fight in her, and it needs an outlet, especially in teenage time.
Those are the hardest. They test you there, and it's because they're really trying to find themselves and like, okay, who am I? I am growing. So like, who am I? And And do I like this? Do I like that? And then if you have a parent that is supporting that curiosity, yes, you know, like, but if you have a parent that is like, no, I did this, so I want you to do this too. So yeah, like issues are going to arise there.
So, and the moons the moons and their kind of feeling by category, because you talk a lot about air, earth, fire, and water. So what are the water moons and what are the main properties there?
So water, we have Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. A Cancer moon is, oh my goodness, it's so sweet. And because that's what it rules, you know, it's in its placement. And it's about being a home and bringing home everywhere they go. Like, you know, like in an office, they have to make, you know, their area homey, you know, like make it, you know, like some people can have empty walls and they don't care, you know, that's most likely like a air moon. But like if they don't care, some others need the creativity and decoration. But Cancer moons are not about the creativity and decoration so much. It's about making it feel comfortable and reminding them of their home and making it like a safe space. So it's about making everyone feel good too, you know, because they are very tender. Now we go to Scorpio, that is also a water moon, but the moon takes in the characteristic of the spine. And what it does, Scorpio represents intensity. So yes, it's going to be very intense feelings. So we go from one, you know, water sign to another that is, oh my God, like night and day, you know. Yeah, like a Scorpio moon, like sometimes, you know, you can tell like, you know, when you are in the presence of a Scorpio moon, because like it's not, even though it's not a fiery sign, it's very fiery. And some other fiery signs like Leo are not even that, you know, intense as Scorpio. That is so, and they're deep. So, and they won't back down and they will fight you forever, you know, but they love in the same way that they fight, you know, so they will love you. They're going to be super loyal. They're going to be your friend. They're going to defend you. And so they go all in or all out. And there is no in between with them.
Black and white, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And then we have, you know, Pisces moon. That is a water sign that is more similar to Cancer, different, very different than Scorpio in the sense that, you know, they're very sensitive. So they feel a lot, you know, they feel everything around them. They feel all what everyone else is feeling. So it's very important for Pisces moon to really like at the end of the day, come back to them and say, okay, how am I feeling? Did I pick anything up from somebody else that is not my feelings? Because I wasn't feeling like this morning. All of a sudden I am. So that somebody, you know, because they just pick so much, you know, unconsciously, you know, so they have to be, you know, working on their boundaries, you know, like I love sage spray in a bottle, you know, that way you're spraying yourself, right? Nice. I love it. You're spraying yourself to like really clear that energy that it wasn't even yours to begin with.
Yeah.
You know, but it's just that they love so much, you know, that they feel so much and they want to do so much for other people. But, you know, like just have that boundary. And Pisces is a mutable sign and they already struggle with boundaries. And as mutable, they're very like flexible and easily influenced by others. So like it's having like, hey, do I really want to do this? Or am I being pressured to do this? You know, it's having that strong boundary with themselves. Otherwise, it's just going to resent it. And that's why it can fall into like a victimhood. Like, oh, people are just using me. People are just taking advantage of me. But like, it's having that knowledge and strength into standing your ground.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. I love that stage in a bottle for office space. It's the best, you know, like that way you're not setting any smoke detectors, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Okay, so water, and then what comes next?
So we talked about fire. We talked about earth, air, and water.
Okay.
All four.
Yeah. Unless there's a new one,
Excellent.
right?
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for that conversation today. I learned a lot. I do have a question about my hair. If I want it to grow, when do I get it cut?
First quarter moon is good, depending on the of what you want. Like if you want like long, or if you just want like a nice, just nice style. First quarter moons are good.
First quarter moon. Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
Okay.
There could be a whole a farmer's almanac, but for like random things like cutting your nails and like growing your hair and skin, and when to start your exercise routine. It could be like the moon guide for life or something.
Actually, yes, like that app tells you like when is the best time, like in the day, like, oh, today is a good day to trim your nails. If
it does?
Really? It does. Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting that app then.
Yes, it's hilarious. I love it because sometimes, like, if you don't pay attention, if you're you're trimming your nails, and then you're like, man, it's they're growing so fast now. What happened? And it's because like you cut it in a day that it's suited for growing faster.
Crazy. I just cut my nails the other day. My nails grow so fast, but I just cut my nails the other day. Now I want to know. Now I'm curious.
Yeah. What have we been doing wrong our whole lives now?
Yes, it's the little details, it's in the day-to-day. Like the moon is just, for any day-to-day activity, the moon is just the best to check because, and it's not about giving your power away to astrology either. You will still have, stand, your power. I don't like to say like, oh, well, the moon did it, because that will fall into like a victim too. And it's not about that. And it's just about co-living, co-planning with the moon.
Like setting yourself up for your best case scenario and best results, right? So why wouldn't you,
Yeah.
Just another tool.
If anybody listening wants to hear more and get their chart read or children's chart read, where can we find you, Lucia?
thesparklewithin.com. That's my website, and I have both for virtual readings and then the parent reading, kids reading for parents. So I have those two in there for thesparklewithin.com.
thesparklewithin.com. Excellent. Thank you. All right, ladies, thanks for joining in the conversation. And I think we'll see you. Well, it's the holidays, so we might have a little bit of break, and we will see you soon. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.